Today, we are going to dive into a concept that honestly can make or break a hotel's profitability. It's called the Triad of commercial alignment. You might even call it the secret sauce that separates the most successful hotels from everyone else. So let's get right into it.
Hello, and a very warm welcome. As a hotel AI expert, I've spent my career immersed in modern hospitality operations. I'm especially pleased to welcome all of you, the students of Europe Hotel School, to your online learning journey. We're here to support your growth in this fantastic industry.
So let's kick things off with a really fundamental question. When you're running a hotel, what's the real goal? Is it all about volume? Filling every single room no matter what? Or is it about rate? Getting the absolute highest price you can for each room? Or at the end of the day, is there only one thing that truly matters? And that's profit. As you're about to see, the answer isn't quite so simple.
To figure that out, we first have to understand the key players who are running the hotel's financial engine. We're talking about three main departments, and each one has its own unique focus and its own idea of what success looks like.
But here's where things get tricky. What happens when these departments are essentially working in their own little worlds, in silos? Even when everyone has the best intentions, they can actually start working against each other. And that creates this internal friction that can seriously drag down the hotel's performance.
So first up, you've got the sales team. Their entire world is about generating demand, building those crucial relationships with clients, and ultimately putting heads in beds. Their main focus, and usually how they're paid, is all about volume.
Next, we have the revenue management team. Think of them as the data wizards, the strategists. They're constantly looking at the market, trying to optimize pricing. Their goal is to maximize what we call RevPAR, that's revenue per available room, by squeezing out the highest possible rate every single night.
And finally, there's the finance team. These are the guardians of the bottom line. They aren't just looking at how many rooms were sold or for how much. They're analyzing everything: the cost to get a customer, operating expenses, the whole financial picture. For them, profit is king, period.
And this is where you can really see the two paths a hotel can take. On one side, you have that silo mentality. The sales team pushes for volume. Maybe they accept some low-rate business. But then the revenue team rejects it because it hurts their rate goals. What does that lead to? Conflict, mistrust, and you end up with the results that are just not great. But on the other side, with an aligned vision, you get trust, you get transparency, and that leads to real, sustainable growth.
So the big question is, how do we get to that amazing aligned vision? Well, the answer is a really powerful strategy known as the Triad of alignment. And trust me, this isn't just some corporate buzzword. It's a completely different way for these three departments to work together.
Okay, let's be crystal clear on what we mean by commercial alignment. It's all about strategic, cross-functional collaboration between sales, revenue, and finance. And the most important word here is balance. It's not about one goal winning out over the others. It's about finding that perfect sweet spot between volume, rate, and what's truly profitable for the hotel.
And this all starts with everyone sharing the same objectives. Just imagine a world where the sales team's bonus isn't just based on how many rooms they sold, but on how profitable those rooms were. A world where revenue strategies don't just fixate on tonight's rate, but think about the long-term value of a guest. And where finance provides data that actually helps the other teams make smarter decisions. That's the goal.
Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now let's get down to business and talk about the how. How do you actually make this happen in the real world in a busy hotel?
It really comes down to a framework built on three pillars. First, like we said, you have to create shared objectives centered around profit. Second, and this is non-negotiable, you have to mandate regular communication. I'm talking about joint weekly meetings where everyone is looking at the exact same data. And third, that whole process naturally builds trust. When decisions are transparent and everyone gets the why behind them, you move from conflict to true collaboration.
But here's the thing, you can have the best framework in the world, but it's just a piece of paper without the right people driving it. And this is where the human element, specifically leadership, becomes absolutely essential to making any of this a reality.
And this quote really hits the nail on the head. It is 100% up to leadership to make collaboration the standard, not the exception. Leaders have to set the expectation and create a safe environment where teams can openly discuss and even debate strategy to get to the best outcome. This culture has to come from the top down.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. It's a core principle taught in top hospitality programs, like the one at Europe Hotel School London. The message for you is clear.
For any of you who want to be leaders in this industry, driving commercial alignment isn't just a part of your job, it is your job.
So after all this effort, what's the payoff? Why does it matter so much? Well, the benefits are huge. We're talking about achieving real, sustainable growth, not just hitting a target one month. It leads to much stronger, more predictable financial results. It makes the entire team better at making decisions. And maybe just as importantly, it cuts down on all that internal conflict that makes work miserable.
So we'll end with this. This whole discussion has been about one thing: breaking down those invisible walls, those silos, to build bridges between people. As you move forward in your careers, the question you should always be asking yourself is the one right here. How will you build the bridge between your teams?